That's unfortunate. So, I spent some time reflecting on the game and kind of thinking about it because, of course, everyone else, especially myself, were absolutely pissed. Um, but you can't blame someone entirely when you haven't seen from the 10-foot view, right? Because the camera that we saw it from our TVs or our phones are like 50 yards away. So um, I have a video linked on TikTok on my community posts. Click it and it'll show you the view that it was Martinez's collision with Bento that made the ball go in, because Bento, he had it in his hands. But it's the collision that made Bento's body change trajectory and then the ball just slipped through. So don't blame him entirely. It's not fully his fault. Do I think he should have gripped it better? Yes. Do I think that there was a miscommunication? Also yes, but Martinez cannot just do that, right? Like, there's absolutely no reason for Martinez to try to win a header when there's no opponent player behind him and when the goalie's already going for it. Absolutely no reason to go for the ball when you're short and you can't win headers like that. Or at least compared to the keeper, right? Because Martinez tried jumping and he only jumped like 5 inches. Bento jumped like 2 feet above him. No reason at all for him to want to win the header. Anyways, who I blame? There really is no one to blame. I mean, there's the miscommunication, sure, but everyone had a solid performance. Like, Bento was playing like prime Neuer, prime Courtois, locking up Benzema and Al-Arsawi and all these other guys who are not like just random guys, right? These are world-class players. And Benzema had a lot of tap-in chances that every other keeper would have not saved, and he did, right? Those are really impressive saves. I don't really blame anyone, but of course, Coman's shot. I don't know if you've seen it already, but or if you were watching the game, but Coman had a late chance in the first half. Could have given it to Ronaldo, who was unmarked and was onside because I think Neves lo habilita, and he doesn't pass it to him and he hits the post. That's an open goal for Ronaldo. You're the best player in the world. You're unmarked. You have 70% of the goal open for you. Why does Coman not pass it to him? And again, there's no one to blame, but Ronaldo should have anticipated that Altambakti or Kano would be chasing him. And I'm not saying he had a bad game, because I think he had a good game. But like Benzema, he just wasn't getting enough service. And when he did try to win the ball, he wasn't looking behind him for the center back or the midfielder. And I think he should have, but I also think that Brozovic and Al-Hassan should have tracked those midfielders, so I don't blame Ronaldo entirely either. Mane had a pretty solid performance. Coman should have dropped more. I don't know why he doesn't drop. If he doesn't drop, he might as well be played as a false 9 or something. Felix had a good game. I hear that people want Felix back in Europe, but honestly, I don't think that would fit him well. At least not again. Because no team in Europe played this guy correctly. I mean, Milan did it kind of good, but not really, because they don't play with an attacking mid. They play with center mids and defensive mids. And they have really no false 9 either, because Thuram and Lautaro are poachers or target forwards. They're not false 9s. So, I don't know where Felix would go in Europe. Because he wouldn't go to Madrid. Madrid wouldn't sign him. He wouldn't go to Barca. He almost went to Benfica. He wouldn't go anywhere else in Portugal. I don't think he would go to the Prem. I don't know where he would go in Europe. And I hope he doesn't go back to Europe soon because Saudi revived his career. Now he has a chance of going to the World Cup and having a good World Cup. So, Europe, not even Europe, Diego Simeone destroyed this guy's career. He destroyed this guy's career because he did not play him as an attacking mid. He played him as a winger, and that really fucked him over. So it's really unfortunate what happened to him there, but yeah, I hope he doesn't go back to Europe soon. He did have a good game. He's playing really well in Saudi Arabia right now. You can't blame any of the center backs. Simakan had an absolute masterclass. I do kind of blame Inigo though, but Simakan's performance was just top performance, top player. Simakan's one of those players that if France call him up for the World Cup, he's cooking in that World Cup. If they can play him as a right back, as a defensive right back, he would cook in the World Cup if they called him up. Now for the upcoming games. So, right, they play the AFC 2 final on Saturday. There are some concerns there because a lot of the players have muscle fatigue right now, which is why Ronaldo got subbed off early. Because you got to rest him for the game on Saturday. And it's equivalent to the Copa Suramericana and the Europa League. They're going to play youngsters, I think, because they're playing a final with players with a lot of muscle fatigue and they don't have a large squad. So that final, or how they'll solve it, will be a challenge for them. Also, because those Japanese teams are very well defensively, and they can counter too, because they'll catch teams off guard. And if you watch the AFC Champions League, the first one, the Elite, you'll figure out, or if you observe it, you could even watch the Club World Cup. Those teams are really good defending. There were some Japanese teams in the Club World Cup. One of them played Inter Milan. They scored first very early, and they defended until like the 90th minute, and then they fell apart. But they held Inter Milan for 90 minutes, right? And those Japanese teams are really good defensively. And if Al Nassr don't have the full squad, then they might suffer a bit on counterattacks. But we gotta hope for the best and hope that the players recover before the game so they're available. And then the other one is the league final. So Damak, I think, is in 15th or 16th place. They're right above relegation. This should be a comfortable win for Al Nassr. And when Al Nassr play these teams, it's usually like 5-0. And it should be. So Al Hilal have 2 games left. Now, how many points do they have now? Al Nassr have 83. And Al Hilal have 78, I think, right? If Al Hilal win their next 2 games, since each game is 6 points, they'll have 84 points, right? But if Al Nassr win their next game, and they should, it'll be 86. And Al Nassr will win Al Hilal by 2 points and win the title. And I'ma watch it. Like, it's on a Thursday. It's on Thursday next week. I'm watching it. There's nothing that will stop me from watching this game. I'll be sitting on my couch downstairs in the living room, and I'm gonna be wearing the Ronaldo shirt. I'm gonna have all my other shirts there too. I'll have chips there. I'll have everything there, and then I'll watch Ronaldo lift the cup. And since it's on a Thursday, we're all skipping school to watch this game, right? We're all watching this game and skipping school. But you know what? I'm actually gonna ask I'm gonna ask for all the work for next week early, so that I do the work, I turn it in, and then I have a perfect excuse to not go to school, and I wouldn't get in any trouble because I would have already done the work, and I'll still be getting the credits for it. So. May God guide us to glory. See you next time.